may be into punk rock, soft rock, or classic rock, R&B, hip-hop, or house, country, techno, or techno-country. But no matter what kind of music you listen to, here's something else you should hear. Please consider getting vaccinated. Talk to your pharmacist today about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA. This message brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Hey, Randy, what you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. I'm just making a list of things that make me feel really, really good.
Wearing Bombas socks.
Trust me, that's number one on my list. Bombas socks feel so good because we use the smartest design and best materials, making them the most comfortable socks ever.
Plus, because socks are the number one most requested clothing item in homeless shelters, we donate a pair for every pair purchased, and that feels pretty good too.
To shop Bombas or learn more about how your purchase supports those experiencing homelessness, go to bombas.com/comfy and get 20% off your first purchase.
IPMNation.com.
Tonight, it's a very special edition of Matt Connarton Unleashed. Kendra L. Saunders is once again coming in to guest host the show tonight. She's got a very special interview lined up with last season's Project Runway winner, Michelle Lesniak Franklin. So this is a big one, folks. By the way, how is it that my guest host always seems to get to interview people more famous than the people I interview? When Jay Leno would guest host for Carson, did he get to interview people who were more famous than the ones Carson interviewed? No one under the age of 35 even knows what the hell that reference meant, but that's okay. Whatever, I think it's just because Kendra's prettier than I am, but that's fine. But tonight, Kendra L. Saunders, her interview with Michelle Lesniak Franklin, last season's Project Runway winner, and that starts now. It is August 27th, 2013, and tonight's very special Matt Connarton Unleashed starts right now.
Matt Connarton Unleashed.
Hello, everyone. This is Kendra L. Saunders. I have a very special guest for you this evening. We have the Project Runway Season 11 winner, Michelle Lesniak Franklin, with us this evening. How are you, Michelle?
I'm doing really well.
Awesome. Well, I have to say, just starting out, this is something I thought about a lot the other day. There are so many artists out there who try to play sort of the pity card with the public, and I really admired your stance on Project Runway and kind of in general of just having so much independence and strength, and that was really refreshing. Especially as a woman, I was touched by the fact that you chose an inspiration that I don't see a lot of females drawing from, which was a lone wolf. So have you always felt like a lone wolf?
I haven't, and it was being on the show and going through what I was going through that made me feel that way. I came from an artist background. I went to school for fine art, and you come to making a project or making art or doing a thesis with a theme. And my theme was really how I was feeling. I really feel when I go into fashion, it's really about my emotion. And my emotion was feeling like a lone wolf, and that's where my clothing came from.
Yeah, and I think that's so cool because obviously the whole theme of that season, which was kind of forced on you guys, was the team thing. And I think that you worked very well as part of a team. Maybe that's different from what other people think, but I saw how you tried again and again to work with people, even though sometimes it was difficult. So I feel like we got to see you go from, definitely working on a team to being able to break away from that and have something that was just so original. And something I noticed actually when I was rewatching one of your rehearsal videos, or I think it was the closet tour one, is that you used that color that you have in your kitchen. You use that as one of the big colors for your final collection. So has that color sort of been with you for a long time too?
Oh yeah, chartreuse and green. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so I really take a lot of my inspiration from nature, and green is a huge part of it. And I'm also born and raised from I was born in the 70s, so these 70s color palettes are really important to me. This burnt orange, this really dirty green. It's really grungy. It's really dirty. It's really a I don't know, it's really haunting. And so, yeah, it's definitely my color palette.
And I think it's cool because once we saw that color for your final collection, at least I know in my case anyway, I felt like I haven't seen this enough places before. I want to see this everywhere. And I think that's part of why, you know, it really struck with people. It wasn't your red, it wasn't your black, you know, it was a really different color. And how excited are you that your Lord & Taylor dress sold out almost immediately after going on sale?
Are you kidding me? It's freaking phenomenal. It's so fucking crazy that I made a dress that people actually wanted. And I'm an artist, so the fact that people are loving what I'm doing, it's a blessing. It scares me every day when people are like, I really love what you're doing. It just... I'm the biggest geek. I'm like, I don't get it. I'm like, I don't think I'm good enough. And then all of a sudden people love what I do. And it's like a big freaking hug.
Yeah, and I mean, that dress, I remember when it first, you know, went up for sale, and it was gone like that, because I feel like it was you and it was the dress, both of those things together is really what sold it. And so... Speaking of the clothes, I know Zach Posen sort of mentioned steampunk in reference to your final collection. How did you feel about that?
You know, I really don't feel myself as a steampunk girl. And, you know, maybe there is some reference to that. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so we're all about the layers, and we're all about, like, carrying what you have on you, because you never know what you're going to do. It's just, like I said, I don't feel steampunk, but I can see the reference. I can totally see where they're coming from. I was coming from a concept. I'm coming from a concept of I'm a lone wolf. I'm traveling by myself, and perhaps that's what steampunk equivalates to, but that's not necessarily what I was driving from.
Yeah, and I've actually been to quite a few steampunk conventions, believe it or not, and when I saw it, I thought that is what the true heart of something, you know, maybe what it used to be of something like steampunk is. It's that originality and functionality. And I feel like because you weren't maybe coming from a point of referencing it on purpose, you were actually able to sort of, you know, have a revolution in steampunk. So I think it's cool to hear, you know, to hear that finally and to talk to you about if that was something that you did on purpose.
I didn't. Like I said, when I come to designing a line, it's all coming from a concept and how I'm feeling. It really is about my emotion. And so I was coming from a place of like, I have to kill something, I have to win, I need all of my gadgets, I need all of my clothing and everything to work for me moving forward, and that's where it came from.
That's so cool. That's so cool. And I think that's why it was so strong, is it was you and all of it. Now, speaking of accessories, you have like some of the most fabulous earrings of anybody I've ever seen. I love earrings too. So every episode, my sisters and I would kind of sit there like, wow, she's got such great earrings this week. So do you make a lot of your own accessories too, or do you just find really great things?
I make a lot of them. I'm really into natural elements, wood, stone. So some of them I made, and then some of them are actually done by local artists here in Portland. I really like to support what's happening in Portland, so I buy a lot of local. I
see. Yeah, that's cool. And I noticed that you said that you're planning to stay in Portland, and I think that's cool as well. Maybe you can have that that New York City experience and bring it back with you. When you were in New York City, did you notice that you changed your personal style at all from West Coast style, or did you kind of keep to it?
Girl, I don't change shit. I am who I am. I'm never going to change. I mean, I really am the heart on my sleeve. My mom even said, she's like, from the day you were born, you just are who you are. And I never changed that. And it unfortunately on the show, I got a lot of people that hate me because of it, because I was so opinionated and so vocal. But in the end, that's who I am. Like, why would I change that? And so New York did not change me. Hopefully I changed New York.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yeah, and speaking of that, I thought it was cool that you sort of spoke up to Nina Garcia when she was getting on your case about something about, like, 80s music, and I liked that you defended yourself. I thought that was cool to see somebody stick up for their opinion and to not back down, especially, to somebody who can be kind of intimidating to other people.
Well, and you know what? Nina. Please, Nina. Like, she is brilliant and knows everything about fashion, and she gets it, but my goodness, I'm a little bit younger, and I'm living in Portland, Oregon. Things are different in New York. Things are different than Neiman Marcus, We need a little hair metal in Portland, Oregon. And people love hair metal. And I just don't think she really got that. I wasn't referencing it in, like, a bad way. I was referencing it in a really good way, the way that people my age want to see it.
You were referencing it from who you were and how it's influenced you.
Exactly.
So many
crew for life.
Many of your fans wanted me to ask you, what are you working on now, and where can they buy some of your pieces?
It's really tough because I travel a ton, so I don't have a whole lot of garments out there. I have a bunch of fashion shows that I'm working towards. I have one on Wednesday, which is totally, I'm in the weeds. I'm sewing like crazy here in Portland, Oregon, and then I have another one in October. It's really important for me to support my local fashion scene, so I'm trying as much as possible to just work and do local.
Okay, and if they want to keep up to date on what you have, for instance, with the show on Wednesday, where would you suggest would be the best place for them to keep up to date?
Go on my website, which is augclothing.com.
All right. Yeah, and you also have a Twitter as well.
Yeah. I tweet and I Instagram like crazy. My Twitter account and the Instagram is Michelle Is Well.
Michelle Is Well.
Yeah, because generally I'm well. even though my clothing's really depressing, I'm doing pretty well.
So now you've probably, even with being mostly in Portland, I'm guessing you probably met at least a few big names in the fashion industry. Were there any times where you were particularly starstruck?
I don't get starstruck. We all shit and fart in the same place. Like I really starstruck. I've met some pretty fancy people, and I'm still the same person because there's no time. There's no time in life.
That's right. Yeah, and that's exactly what we want to hear. And again, I think that's a very big part of why the clothes that you make are so strong, and they do have such a presence. Is it so much of you tied into it? One of your fans from Blogging Project Runway wanted to know a little bit more about the editorial challenge when you made the shirt and pants, and Nina kind of gave you a hard time about it. They wanted to know, was there more to your decision to make that outfit than what we saw on TV?
I honestly never heard Nina say, don't do a shirt and pants. When we're giving a challenge, we're dog tired. Like, we're so tired and so stressed out. I honestly didn't hear her say that. And when she said, do something editorial, I was like, I've got something perfect. And it just came to my mind, the design. And that's what I went with. Like, you might even see on the show, Nina is describing the challenge to us, and my eyes roll in the back of my head, and I start thinking. I tune out everything she said, and I'm designing. And that's how I work. I didn't mean to do what she told me not to do. That was not the case at all. That was the design, and that's what I went with. And I'm so proud of it. I still think it's the best thing that was on the runway.
Yeah, I think that was a great outfit. All of us were disappointed to see that didn't get, that it had to be sidetracked by that one detail.
Well, and the worst thing is like when they actually photographed it for Marie Claire, and I love Stanley. His outfit was delicious and deserving. But when they actually photographed, she was in his jacket and a pair of jeans and a t-shirt.
Yep, I did notice that.
I was like, really? Really, Marie Claire? I'm going to give you the finger from Portland, Oregon.
Justification.
Yeah.
And Laura from Blogging Project Runway wanted to know if you have gotten your prizes yet, since last time she spoke with you, that still hadn't happened.
They're slowly trickling through. It's a process, and life is happening, and I'm traveling like crazy. So yeah, it's slowly trickling through. But life is still hard work. It takes a lot to be successful in this business, and I'm taking it a day at a time.
Oh, absolutely. So now for one of our wacky questions. If you were stranded for a week on a desert island, which Project Runway judge or past winner would you choose to have with you?
Okay, first of all, no judges, Tim Gunn and I. Tim Gunn, I, and a giant, like, Gatorade size, like, pitcher, you know, like the ones where they have at, like, sporting games, like a giant cooler of Manhattan. Because I know he loves a Manhattan, and I love a Manhattan. So big thing of that with Tim Gunn. And I think that a past person, oh golly, did you say winner?
Yeah, or contestant, if you have a particular favorite. Or somebody you think would be useful for you on the island.
Somebody that would be useful for me on the island. Who would I go with? I'm sorry, Amanda Valentine. She's my best friend.
Oh, yeah. And
I want her there.
That leads me to one last question. One of your fans wanted to know, are you and Amanda thinking about collaborating?
Oh, of course. She's my girl. We were just in LA together. Like, anytime we're traveling, every time I buy fabric in LA, we meet up and we buy it together. Like, we are just best friends. Stanley and I are best friends. Matt and I are best friends. Benjamin and I are best friends. Samantha and I are best friends. Like, it really is 13. Mind you, there were 16 of us. 13 of the best friends I've ever met.
That is so cool. So the Lone Wolf was able to come out with a whole pack.
Well, of course. We've gone through hell and back. We're in this family that nobody's ever seen before. No one's ever done. We're tied together. And even past seasons, I'll travel and I'll be in Cleveland, you know, for example, and I'll hook up with somebody that's there. Like, even though I've never met them before, we are friends for life.
Yeah, and that is so cool. Especially since all of you guys had to go through getting, 3 or 4 hours of sleep every night for weeks.
Are you kidding me? It was a nightmare. I mean, I wasn't even this close with my ex-husband. You know, they're seeing sides of me nobody's ever seen.
Oh, man. Well, it was so great to get to talk to you, Michelle, and I think everybody needs to go and check out your Twitter, which, again, is Michelle Is Well, and also check out your website, which is
AUclothing.com.
AUclothing.com. Michelle has very much personality and opinion, and her clothes are amazing. So, thank you so much, Michelle, for joining us tonight. It was great to have you. We are all looking forward to seeing what you have next for us.
Awesome, girl.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
So, as always, everybody, remember that you can find me on Twitter at Kendry, Kendry, Bird, or on my website, which is my name, www.KendraLSaunders.com. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, look for the link for that on my website. My new YouTube channel has interviews like this one, documentaries for my travels, writing advice, and lots of other fun stuff. Also, if you haven't checked out my serialized dystopian novella, Levitate, yet, you should. Thank you so much for joining us, as always, as I take over Matt's show, and I hope to be back real soon with more great interviews for you.
Matt Connarton Unleashed.
IPMNation.com. Amazon has you covered. They are offering more jobs than Seattle has coffee beans. Plus, you can earn sign-on bonuses up to $3,000 and pay up to $22.75 per hour. Many jobs come with great benefits that start on your first day. And Amazon offers a variety of paths for career growth. They even have flexible shifts and schedules so you can work when it works for you. Go to Amazon.com/Seattle Jobs to get started today. Amazon is proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Lack of affordable housing in New Hampshire is a crisis, but you can be part of the solution. When you donate to help the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund, you're supporting your neighbors with professional guidance, plus financial education and training. Your support means more of New Hampshire can find and finance a safe, affordable manufactured home. Transform lives and strengthen local communities. Donate today at communityloanfund.org.